we're on the air with the upper extremity. The upper extremity is brought to us by the brachial plexus, and this doesn't have the world's best brachial plexus, but it's okay because we can see some things here. This is the left side too, so you have to sort of get used to a lefty. And so these big yellow nerves here are most definitely going to be ulnar and median nerves, and the musculocutaneous sort of like gets lost right about here. So, and you can sort of see the M shape here of how the, and here is the nomenclature artery. So this is going to be the axillary artery, and that which is medial to the artery is going to be the medial cord. That which is lateral to the artery is going to be the lateral cord, right? And so you can see musculocutaneous and median, and this is going to be the ulnar coming down into our little funny bone right here. So I'll try to do my lefty with the lefty. Okay, so right like that. And so then we can see in the anterior, or the anterior compartment, we have three muscles. We have biceps, brachii, we have brachialis, and this is the who is that? The coracobrachialis. Okay, coracobrachialis is going to share a tendon with brachialis. So, oh, that goes all the way that way. Goodness. Okay. So here we are with the short head of biceps and coracobrachialis sharing that tendon coming up into the coracoid process of the scapula. Okay, long head is going to come through the intertubercular groove, and the long head is going to arise from the supraglenoid tuberosity. And we're going to go down, and it's going to go to the thumb side, and it's going to go to the radial bone right there. Whereas this brachialis is going to come from the humerus and go down to the ulna. Okay, so then we get down over here to the posterior. The posterior is quite simple because it's one muscle but three parts. The posterior is going to be triceps innervated by the radial nerve. We should be able to see a little bit of only just the very beginning at the back side of the artery here, and we do actually see a branch going this way and going deep, and so we know for sure that that's going to be the axillary nerve, and eventually that axillary nerve is going to go penetrate through and take care of our deltoid. Okay, so here we have supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, teres major, and the long head of triceps. Triceps will insert onto the the olecranon process of the ulna, and will cause extension. So then we'll come around here on this side. It's always good to review these things before you just jump in, but what the heck, we'll go for it. Okay, there are two compartments, and so the flexor side is predominantly going to arise from the medial epicondyle, and there's going to be sort of one short little guy here that doesn't go all the way down to the wrist, and that's going to be the pronator teres, and then sort of depends on how you like to memorize these things from one side to the other. It's usually good to pick a side and begin to memorize across it, so you can go that's next and next and next. Okay, you will notice that there are three superficial things coming down here going to the wrist level, and so the one on the thumb side is going to be the flexor carpi radialis. The one on the digiti minimi side is going to be the flexor carpi ulnaris, and then the one that comes down the middle that just goes to the palm is going to be the palmaris longus. Okay, and so that's the deal with that. Notice that there's going to be a division of labor in terms of the innervation, because on the on this side, this is one of the 1.5 muscles innervated by the ulnar nerve. So that's always a good thing to remember. And we're actually going to be coming through, I guess this is the retinaculum, and there is a space here for carpal tunnel to come through. So that means that there's going to be the flexor digitorum superficialis, which comes along. Notice that it forms a little V right here at the finger level, and that means that the deeper muscle, the profundus, is going to come right straight through that V and come out to the distal phalanx of the finger. And although we don't have a cadaver now that does that, shows that dissection, I'm hoping to do that next semester, so you'll get to see it eventually. Okay, then we have profundus, not so clear and obvious and available to the casual observer, but it's in here somewhere. That's about all I can say. We do have, on the thumb side, we do have flexor pollicis longus. Okay, I'm not going to get into probably testing you on this model with regard to some of these muscles of the hand, although some are somewhat obvious. I probably shouldn't go there only because it's not so clear, and so I like things to be pretty. Life is messy, and you've got to look at the pretty parts to figure out what's going on. Okay, so moving right along over here, this first muscle that we find along our elbow region here that provides us with a lateral border to the cubital open region here.
20 seconds.
Okay, is going to be the brachioradialis, and then we're going to have the next thing is going to be two muscles here, the extensor. I may as well just stop right at that point probably.